Welcome to Midnight Menu Plus One. I'm Ray Canada.
And I'm Margot Moss.
We're here again at Ted's Frost Top on Claiborne and Calhoun in Uptown New Orleans. Once a week, Margot and I meet here at Ted's, and we invite a member of New Orleans restaurant and food community to join us. And we invite them to bring along a friend, a plus one. We never know who that plus one's going to be. We'll find out in a moment. And our special guest today will be the great Gia DeLeo from Green to Go. But before we talk to her, Margot, I'm wondering if you had any food adventures this week, anything exciting food-wise?
Yes. I went to a place that has been around for 20 years, and I forget about it. I probably haven't been in 15.
Oh, wow.
And I really enjoyed it. I went to Jamila's. It's on Maple, right?
Yeah.
Maple Street.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to mispronounce it and feel like Tunisian food or Tunisian?
Tunisian, I think.
Tunisian food.
I feel like it's Tunisian.
Okay. Somebody I was with said
it's like
Tunisian,
only Tunisian
but she's
restaurant,
English, so I don't know if
the
it's a
English
proper.
always have to fancy everything up. It's gross. Aluminium or something like that. How do you say
aluminium. I took a class and it took me a week to figure out what aluminium was. I was so behind.
Yeah, my lab teacher used to say esophagus, and I didn't know what that was until I figured out that was an esophagus.
Okay, so speaking of esophaguses, it was great, and they make their own sausage.
I forget about that place too. That place is amazing.
Morghese sausage over like lemon lentils.
Oh, boy.
It was divine.
Wow.
And I felt like I was in their home. They were so welcoming, and
it's a whole family comes out. I remember the son came out, like a teenage kid came out, and the wife came out. It was like, yeah.
So it was great. So I'm glad to find that wonderful spot.
Thanks for reminding me about that. For some reason, people don't talk about it enough. That's a great place, really unique.
Yeah. So did you have any culinary adventures this week?
Just doing free association. The first thing that pops in my head is what I had for lunch, which is really good. And it's not that exciting. It was just so great.
Where?
Surrey's.
What?
I love Surrey's, and I like the original one especially, but I like them both. And so I was walking downtown, and I just popped in, unpremeditated. Just happened to be where I was going by at 12:30 when I got hungry, and I got the ham and cheese and onion frittata, and it was absolutely perfect. Could not be any better. And
Let
the
me
coffee's
ask you,
great, and
does the original Surrey's have their crab sandwich, or is that only up further uptown? Have you ever had that?
Yes, I like that a lot.
It's really good.
Yeah.
It's rich, but delicious.
Oh, wait a second. I'm mixing it up with another crab
It's like
sandwich. I don't think I had it at Surrey's, actually.
You got to try it.
Oh, wow.
It's delicious.
My standby was the egg sandwich, like the, it was just like a breakfast sandwich, but it's awesome. It's fried egg with, with cheese and ham or bacon. And it's just awesome.
That's a good spot to have to get hungry on your walk.
It was great. And the thing is, I told him to hold the biscuit so I wouldn't be tempted to eat it because the biscuit's so great. And I found as long as I just leave off a little bit of carbs, I'm doing great. I can eat as much as I want as long as I do that.
Nice.
And it works for me. I'm not for everybody. I'm not a dietitian.
Well, speaking of healthy, why don't we get to our guest? I see she's here.
Her food is much healthier than what I described probably, and I'm sure it's just as tasty too.
Well, our guest tonight is Gia DeLeo.
Right, founder of Green to Go. She was a mom first and a business owner second. She took an interest in organic and locally grown food following the birth of her first child, I'm told, but it wasn't until the birth of her second child that she decided to do something about the woeful lack of healthy food in New Orleans. We complain about that a lot on the show sometimes. What started as a tiny spark of an idea, a salad restaurant, quickly unfolded into a whole green concept, not just healthy food, but healthy food delivered via green energy, using green packaging, relying on all things digital to eliminate as much paper waste as possible. Sounds really fascinating. I can't wait to talk to Gia. Thank you. Welcome.
Hi, Gia.
Nice to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming. Okay, where to begin? Why? I just heard in your intro you felt there was a woeful lack of healthy options in the city. But when did you come to the city, and how long before you came to that realization?
Well, I can tell you honestly, I came to that realization the first time I ever came to New Orleans, which would have been 1994. And I distinctly remember going to the Winn-Dixie on Tchoupitoulas and going to buy ingredients for a salad. And what they were selling was brown iceberg lettuce. And that's what they thought was the salad fixings. And it just coming from California, where I was born and raised, and it's not just an industry, it's a business. It's called agribusiness, and I don't even know how many billions of dollars it is, but fresh food. And so I met my husband, who was living here at the time. And so every time I would come to visit, and we would visit once or twice, once every month or once every 2 months. And obviously this is long before September 11th, because I would bring a backpack full of like clothes and cleaning
Fertilizer.
supplies.
Cleaning supplies.
Cleaning supplies, because he was, a college student, and it was disgusting. So I bring a backpack of clothes.
And you
Shoe.
came back.
Exactly.
You still came back twice a month,
I came
and you had to
back,
bring cleaning supplies.
Cleaning
Okay.
supplies and clothing, and then in the other bag I always brought fresh food. I mean, I would go to
You're the only
Trader
person in
Joe's.
history who ever imported food into New Orleans. Yeah.
Seriously. But I was like, I couldn't, at the time I was a vegetarian, and there was no options. We could get like cheese pizza, or, what's still my favorite, which is, French fry po' boys, which is
A French fry po' boy. I
Oh,
never
yeah.
thought to recommend that to a vegetarian.
so good.
Brilliant.
That's
Yes.
a great idea, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Parkway Bakery has a fantastic
Yeah.
one. They just shove it full with French fries, and it's just a
And-
carb dream. It really is.
You didn't mind in college, though, that it was probably cooked in the same grease as the oysters and the shrimp and all that?
You know what? Not minding versus not eating.
Exactly.
Those are your options. So, as it developed, I came back and forth to New Orleans many times, and we ended up getting married here. And then moving, I lived in San Francisco for a while, which is also a great food city. Chicago, fantastic food city.
Yeah.
And then Hurricane Katrina hit, and it kind of changed everything. Let's be honest, it changed everything. It changed everything for people here in New Orleans, and it changed everything for us in Chicago, watching the pictures, and changed our life from then on.
You made a decision to come back after.
Yes.
So when did you
That's
move here?
wonderful.
So we moved, we've been here 6 years now.
Okay.
So it was about a year and a smidge after Katrina hit. And I don't think about it, but my family who comes to visit, every time they say, "Oh my gosh, can you look at the change, look at the growth, look how wonderful things look." But for those of us who live with it every day, you forget. But my husband's family lost their home and their business.
Where was that?
In Pass Christian, Mississippi.
Okay, yeah, right.
So from that point on, it was really kind of a no-brainer that we were going to come back.
And what were you doing in Chicago? So you came from Chicago or San Francisco? I'm sorry.
I
You
came
moved-
from Chicago
Okay.
to New Orleans.
So what were you doing in Chicago, and did that matter when you came here? I mean, did you plan on continuing what you were doing in Chicago?
No, I was a trial attorney in Chicago, and I call myself a recovering attorney now because I don't know many happy attorneys.
You'll never recover from that experience completely, no.
No, you never do.
Yeah.
Great experience. It's wonderful to have in my past,
Right.
and I'm glad that my future is different.
And so when you came here, you knew y'all were committed to coming back, but so you knew that you would be in recovery here, like you wanted to leave that behind. And did you have aspirations to be in the food business?
Well, to answer the first part of the question, I knew I wasn't going to be an attorney any longer because you have to change your status. And they said, okay, well, you can change your status for continuing legal education purposes and just be, sort of like in remission. And for lack of a better term, but you have to continue with your continuing legal education, or you can go into retirement. And I said, I'm taking retirement. So officially, I am retired.
So if you want to be an attorney again, you got to go back and do some other extra hoops to
Exactly.
get your
Pay lots of extra
bar
money, and yes. And so
Study Napoleonic law.
Yes, all of that. So I knew that's it. I'm retired. I'm moving on to my second career.
Wow.
And to answer the second part,
Were you like a really bad trial attorney, or were you pretty good?
I was actually pretty good. I mean, I'm
I
not in the
bet.
habit of toot toot,
Yeah.
but I was pretty good
But
with
you
what
just-
I did.
You didn't like it.
It's a
Wasn't you.
fascinating, it's a very fascinating area, and what I did, I loved, and I worked with some tremendously talented people. But it's the lifestyle.
Right.
The lifestyle is just uncompromising, and I mean, it's not it's not a 40-hour work week. It's an 80-hour work week. It's a 100-hour work week, and when you're in trial, it's you don't go home.
Right.
So it's not conducive to having any sort of family by any means.
Right.
And we knew that that's what we wanted. So it was an easy decision to make. And then when we moved down here, I knew I wanted to start a business, and I knew I wanted it to be something to complement New Orleans. But I had no idea what it was. But as I was kind of going through in my mind, everything I kept coming back to was food. Food, food, food. And the way I look at it is, you know when I like you if I cook for you. And that's kind of how I feel.
Yeah.
So this is my way of telling New Orleans, I love you. This is my love letter to you.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Were you a vegetarian were you still a vegetarian when you moved here? And did that,
I was a vegetarian when I moved here and had been for
and why
18,
were you a
20
vegetarian?
years. I really didn't ever crave meat. And so it was something that I could easily drop off. And
So when did you become a vegetarian?
I was 18.
18. Okay.
Yeah, I was 18. And, in California, you have so many options.
Right.
And the other part is that, I have a family history of poor health, cancer and diabetes and all those awful things. And they say, that what you eat certainly contributes to not only how you feel, but what your longevity is.
So you're no longer a vegetarian?
No.
Now, this website, there's a website about this. There's about this website?
No.
There's people taking revenge on people that drop out of vegetarianism.
Really?
Yeah, and if they find out about you, which they probably will
Okay.
from the show, they're probably going to put you on the website.
Okay, well, you know what?
I don't know what that does to you.
But
Yeah.
tell us about your business, because where you ended up where you are today, because you may not be a vegetarian, but you still have healthy philosophies.
Wait, can I
right?
say one thing?
Yes.
Because I always do. I insult somebody every single show. I'm not insulting vegetarians by saying that. Only the 1/1,000,000th of 1% of militant vegetarians who feel that everyone else should be a vegetarian, and they're gonna out them if they go back.
Well, and
But yeah, no, vegetarians are great people. It's awesome.
well,
Just no, I gotta say a disclaimer because
Are you worried about the vegetarian mafia coming
that's
after
what I'm
Yes.
you?
afraid of. Yeah, I already
Yeah.
have someone else who tried to kill me on the way here. I won't talk about that. And he's a very powerful man, and it's an inside joke. Margo knows what I'm talking about. Okay, sorry. Let's get back to you though.
So, to kind of segue back into eating, I'm now a porkitarian because the bacon called me back. So
Wait, that doesn't mean you're strictly pork, right? You
no,
only eat pork.
No,
You just
no,
love pork above all
oh my
else.
God. Who doesn't love
Oh,
pork?
who doesn't love
Yeah.
pork?
Pork,
Pork's
yeah.
the greatest meat there is, for sure.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
bacon. If I could start every day with bacon, it'd be a good day. So yes, now I continue a healthy lifestyle and healthy philosophies about food. And one of the biggest is you want your diet to be as colorful as possible. So we encourage people to eat the rainbow. Eat
Yeah.
every color of fruit and vegetable that you can imagine.
Okay, I'm sorry. Can you?
that.
I'm stepping back a little
Please.
bit, but please tell us the name of your business and your original concept and where it is today.
Yeah, kind of describe it for
Yeah,
us, just
sure.
kind of briefly, sketch out what it is.
Okay, so Green to Go is the name of my business, and we are located on the web at greentogonola.com. And what started out as a salad delivery, and we started out with 4 salads that I would deliver via bike.
Nice.
So we wanted to take the entire concept of green. So if it's on a bike, then it's green energy. I'm, using my own
Yeah.
steam to get it where it needs to go. And the concept came to me, like I said, after I had my second child, and I wanted something healthy.
So would you strap the kid on the back of the bike with you when you're going off too?
I have.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I have.
Kid's holding the salad and you're biking around.
Well, at
and-
that point, he was probably 6-8 months old. So I put him in a backpack and then kind of pushed the bike
That's
for
so
safety
awesome.
reasons. Yes. So anyways, I came up with the concept, and thought about doing an actual restaurant. But, this is a town that's all about gluttony. And I thought, this could go down in flames. I'm not going to spend the type of money that it takes to invest in a brick and mortar location and really not know if it's going to be well received. It's a big risk to take.
Yeah.
So I kind of started paring down the idea, and, food truck came to mind. But, food trucks have things that I don't need. Like, I don't need a fryer. I don't need a grill per se. There would be a lot of equipment there that would be unnecessary. And, you're in a small space, so you want to maximize it. So that's when I started paring it down some more and came up with the concept of a bike. And I really looked at other very progressive cities. Portland is definitely one of them, Austin, and then cities in Europe that use bikes as not only a means of transportation, but as a means of delivery.
So you're not just doing it on bikes anymore. Now you're using cars to deliver things, or what's going on with it now?
We use a car if we have, like catering events. If if it's something
so you
big.
still deliver mostly by bike. If I order a salad, you're going to show up at my house with the salad? It's going to be you?
If you are on our route, then yes.
That's so cool.
Yes.
Okay,
Isn't
so
that
what's your delivery
amazing?
area?
So our routes are from uptown all the way downtown. We have 2 bikes now. We started with 1, and keep in mind that we started a year and a half ago.
So where do you live?
I live uptown.
Oh, nice.
And
So,
your
okay.
business is based out of.
Now we're based out of the Jewish Community Center in uptown New Orleans.
Right.
So they have a commercial kitchen, and they invited us to come in and start cooking. And
Now, do you ever serve your salads there too?
We do, because we have they have a little space. They call it the Nosh, and it's basically like a little snack bar space. Yeah. And so we came in, and one of the reasons why is because the JCC was one of my first clients. I would stop because that's where my boys went to school, and I would stop and feed the teachers.
Huh.
Teachers can't leave; they have to be there. Well, why not bring them something healthy?
Yeah.
So that's how I started, and they said, well, why don't you come on and take over this little restaurant space that we have and go from there.
And before we need to get to your mystery guest, but
Yes.
I want to hear a lot
I
more
have
about
a
this, but,
question.
yeah.
I want. We'll get back to it because I have a few questions about that space. And but let's.
Why don't you
Who have you
introduce
brought
plus
tonight
one.
as your mystery guest?
Okay, so I have brought someone who is not only a good friend of mine, but also an employee and somebody who's...
Do you ride the bikes?
I do. I deliver on the bikes.
Do you cut salads too, or you just...
a little bit of everything.
Yes.
All right.
He is kind of a jack of all trades, but he's also a fantastic chef in his own right. He is a pastry
you.
chef, and I have the pleasure of eating his food on a regular basis as well. So without further ado, Nate Winter.
Hello, hello.
All right,
Hi,
Nate Winter,
Nate.
Nola Pie guy, right?
Nola Pie guy.
I've
That is correct.
tasted 5 or 6 different kinds of your pies.
Yes, you
They're
have, and
awesome.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
Thank you very much. It's a nice little balancing act we've got between salads and pies.
Yes.
So you make pies as well in your business, or is that a separate?
Can people order pies from
Can
Green
people?
to Go?
Yeah, that's right.
That doesn't sound very green. That sounds awesome, but I don't know if it's that green.
Well, go ahead, Nate.
Right,
You
right.
answer.
So I do make pies. I make all handmade pies with locally sourced ingredients.
You make
all
like
natural
arugula pies or
ingredients.
something for her?
No,
Like
no,
what-
I do. I got a
Belgian
I eat
endive?
healthy salads at one job, so I created a side business to completely negate it. It's all sweet pies. So
Yeah.
cheesecakes, pecan, strawberry, banana cream, coconut cream, lemon meringue, key lime, seasonal. We got some peaches recently, blueberries, apples, a little bit of everything. Homemade crust, filling, and toppings.
Awesome.
And I don't make them at Green to Go, but like Green to Go, it is a delivery business. So you can go online to nolapieguy.com,
I didn't know that.
place an order for an individual pie or a subscription. That's what I encourage because
Do
variety
you
is
do
the spice of
free
life.
delivery? Is that what you do?
You can do free pickup at PJ's on
Ah.
Magazine Street, which is where I have a weekly pop-up, or for a little extra, I will deliver to your home and office anywhere in New Orleans.
Anywhere in New Orleans. Wow.
This is so exciting.
It's the best show ever.
This is one of the most practical shows ever, I think, because I don't have to leave the comfort of my home then for this. This is great. I never ever do delivery for anything. We go out for every single meal that we don't cook in. We go out probably 80% cooking, maybe 20%, but we never get anything delivered. These are really good options. This is great. Maybe some of the listeners feel the same way. Maybe they never get anything delivered either.
I think so. This is
This is
exciting.
something, yeah.
Well, I think when you think about delivery, you think pizza or
Pizza,
Chinese or
right.
something that's going to be like heavy.
Right.
Right.
But this is not.
Overprocessed.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, it's hard to go out and get a salad in this town sometimes.
oh, absolutely.
The selection's kind of limited, so actually to have one come to you. Mm-hmm. Now, okay, we just heard the selection we have of the pies, which is impressive and massive. Now, do you still have 4 salads? You have more than that now.
Oh gosh, we probably have close to 30 salads.
Can you list out a few of them for us?
We do quinoa salads. We'll do like a mango quinoa salad that's fantastic. Carrot and parsnips with quinoa. We do like organic buckwheat soba noodle salads. We do, one of our favorites it's purple rice, which is Louisiana grown. It's a
Yeah.
Louisiana grown purple rice with salmon salad. It's
Oh, wow. What's that cost?
Beautiful.
You know what? All of our salads are $8.
$8. Mm-hmm. That includes
$8.
delivery? No.
That includes delivery.
Come
if you're
on.
on our route. If you're on
Really?
our route, that includes
And that's like
delivery.
a big size salad that's going to fill me up?
Yeah, it's between 24 and 32 ounces, depending on
What?
what's.
Well, I have to tell y'all,
It's crazy.
the first time I met Gia, I went to a film at City Park in the Sculpture Garden, and I think you had first started. I mean, maybe you had been open a little while, but
Yeah.
and it was so enjoyable. And
Thank you.
I got your card, and I had been thinking about it since then. So it's really an honor to have you on because I thought
Thank
it was
you.
brilliant. You had a bike, you had your bike, and you had the salads, and I was not expecting to be able to go and have such a nice experience at an outdoor film and eat so well and for so reasonable. I mean,
Wow. $8. That's
Yeah.
great.
Thank you.
Okay,
So-
now, people order on the website or they call you by phone or both?
Well, we do most of our ordering either via Facebook or via email.
Okay, so what happens when you're not there? Like right now, are people right now ordering things on Facebook and they don't have an instant message telling them like, no?
So we basically
So
do
they're just
it
waiting
for lunch.
hours? Oh, it's only lunch. Okay, okay.
Lunch.
And
Now,
that's-
if you're at the JCC, you can get breakfast and or lunch, but you have to be a member.
okay, that's
So-
that's what I want to go back to.
Okay.
So if you're not a member of the JCC, you cannot walk in. Or Nate is a bodyguard too. Do you check the JCC membership
job.
card?
Yes.
And
So people can't walk off the streets and come into the JCC and buy your salad because it's not
Correct.
accessible from the front entrance. They
Yes.
gotta get past.
But it's a brilliant asset for the
For the
them,
members.
for the
'Cause
members.
You realize there is a huge fitness center there.
yeah. I was a member
So-
for a long time. We just let it lapse about a year ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have a membership that's part of their perk to be able
Yes.
to eat your food
To have
and
access.
and then on top of that, people can call and you will deliver a certain route.
Yes.
Or
That's
Absolutely.
fantastic. Okay, so do you have any competitors? Anybody else copied you since you started this? and what are their what are their webpage addresses? I want to comparatively price.
I will say that there have been some competitors.
Because I haven't heard about this yet.
but
They're not advertising very well.
Well, there you go.
and word of mouth isn't as
Yeah.
I'll
I
tell you
haven't
what,
heard
for,
anything
for
about-
25 free salads, we'll promise not to have them on the show.
oh, we're getting into
No,
bribing now.
that would be a different radio show. No, I'm just kidding.
And
Okay.
pie too.
Pie, well, yeah, but
To
that's
keep,
dessert
keep
pies.
us quiet.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Dessert.
It
Hush
really
money.
is a nice compliment.
Right.
Because, he bakes, morning and night, and he comes into Green to Go, and I'm always, I think you
Right.
need this. I think you need these greens.
Yeah.
I think you need some fresh fruit,
Okay, now, so how'd you find Nathan? It's funny. I first met Nathan at a movie too.
Yep.
The Man Who Ate New Orleans. He was supplying the
At
pies
your-
for
at
it.
your
Our movie-
premiere
Yeah, no,
of-
well, not
at
a premiere,
PJ's?
but it was a showing at PJ's. Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm
I
sorry.
don't know what you call it, but
Well,
premiere means
screening
first
on the
time, doesn't it?
patio.
Screening. Yeah, yeah.
Screening, sorry.
That's where I first met Nathan. How'd you meet Nathan, and how'd you get
So
hooked up
I
with
was
him?
delivering on the bike.
You were bringing him a salad.
I was not bringing him a salad. I was near his neighborhood. I was in his neighborhood bringing
and
salads.
you smelled the pies wafting out of his window.
I
and
wish. It was more like the other way around. He saw me on the bike and he was like, hey, what do you got there? And so then we struck up a conversation. And he basically, we talked about this
Yeah,
before. So he knows. He followed me for like 2 hours, just kind of peppering
wait,
me with
wait, wait.
questions.
Time out. Well, slow down for a second.
While
know
you're
he
on
was
the
following
phone.
you?
than it actually was.
Yes.
Did you encourage him to follow you?
Yes, he was.
Okay.
He was asking
He
me
kind
questions.
of has puppy dog eyes. I could see
Aw,
you
thanks.
not
You know
being
what?
threatened.
One time I was walking around Magazine Street. He was following me
Following
around
you
for
too?
2 hours.
I
couldn't
know.
figure out why. It was kind of creepy. I just thought we were in the same walking route. I think he's got a habit of this. Right?
How I make new friends.
Friends.
I've got a pie
Yeah.
in the oven. I just take a little stroll around the neighborhood.
Wow.
So yeah, so he
That's
he
the
was
most beautiful, creepy
fascinated.
story we've ever had on the show. Okay.
She gave me a salad.
I
I
did.
brought out some homemade jam or
Jams.
jelly from some fruits I gotten at the farmer's market and traded that and
Because
then just started a conversation.
We're we're kind of in the same.
And how long after that were
business.
you like partnering together?
So you came to me in June, but I had
Yes.
literally the day you called, I had accepted a full-time position,
Yes.
which took me away from the pie business for about 6 months or so, and from any other business for that matter. And then after that, we reconnected
Yeah.
in November, December.
Something like that, yeah.
And y'all do. It's nice that you are supportive of each other's business because it's a similar concept, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
supplying a great product of seasonal, local, and,
Yes.
ingredients, and delivering and.
And that's kind of
Pick up.
He came and he was asking me questions the first time we met about how do I kind of launch to the next level, or what did you do? And we were just kind of comparing notes. And my attitude is always, I'm more than happy to share what information I have. I don't need to keep anything secret. I'd like to help out other people that are in the same boat, and so
Right.
that's what we have. That
There's enough room for lots of good food in
Absolutely.
this town, and if you're doing a good job, people are going to reward that because people love to eat here, and they just got to find out about it.
Exactly.
Well,
And I
yeah.
encourage new business owners, hey, if you have a question, call me. I've only been doing this about a year and a half, but whatever pitfalls I can prevent you from making or kind of
Right.
sidestep, I'm more than happy to.
Well, because you're kind of a pioneer, it sounds like. I mean, there's not a lot of people doing the things the way with the business model you have and doing things the way you do it.
Yes.
And it sounds like a great thing. I mean, we now have food trucks now. Finally got the green light last week. A little bit. They were seeming in doubt, and that was a whole new model for New Orleans in a lot of ways. And restaurants now you have another way. So, well, one of the things I like, Gia, just personally, is like it reminds me a little bit of when we had Leah Saris on. Same thing. She's the first medical professor in the country. She's at Tulane who basically teaches cooking.
Medical nutrition.
Medical nutrition by cooking. So they actually have a cooking class, and it's kind of fun for med students.
Yeah.
They Tulane requires their medical students to
Yeah.
take nutrition.
You
It's a
should
new
hook up with
program.
her. You
That's
guys
great.
would be able to share some great ideas. But like you, what I liked about her was I expected her to be a little bit doctrinaire and a little bit judging and a little bit, and she's not that at all. She's like, oh yeah, I eat, pork rinds too, and da-da. And she's obviously a very healthy person, promoting health, promoting educators to promote health.
And gracious with her knowledge, like you're
Right.
saying,
but
generous.
also willing to say, hey, it's more about eating diversely, and and that's what I hear you saying too. So you're somebody who's committed to healthy food, and yet you're also like promoting somebody's sugary pies too, because
Absolutely.
it's about having a balanced diet, right?
Yes.
Just cutting back a little bit of moderation and learning a little bit of diversity in your diet, not just eating only pies all the time. That would be a bad thing.
Yes.
But also eating only greens might be difficult for some people too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
And I having tasted many of Nate's pies, I can tell you that they're fantastic.
Yeah.
And he definitely balances out my eating. As a matter of fact, I had a peach pie last week that was fantastic, and it was really great because I was going to dinner at friends, and at the end of a long week, I don't want to cook. And they were like, can you bring dessert? And I thought, yeah, I can. Hello, Nate? Can you get me a pie? And it's homemade. It wasn't made in my home, but it was still homemade and fantastic. And
You know what we've been because unlike other places, when we talk about other restaurants, automatically like people can find it, know where to go. Yours is a little bit more difficult. So we'll get your we're going to put it up on the website, and we'll get it at the end of the show too. But why don't you both say like what your contact information is right now too for your businesses before we go any further?
So I'm at www.green2gonola.com, which is the same on Facebook. It's Green to Go NOLA on Facebook and Twitter. And our phone number is 504-460-3160.
Say it again.
504-460-3160.
Cool. How about you, Nate?
All right, so I am at nolapieguy.com, It's nolapieguy@gmail.com, twitter.com/nolapieguy, and facebook.com/nolapieguy. So all very easy. Best way to get a hold of me is honestly either through Twitter or just message me through the website.
Okay.
It's got a
Now, what are
listing
your
of all my
hours? I'm not
pies.
sure we got that. We know hers are for lunch, and then also additionally breakfast at JCC. When can we contact
Right,
you
right.
if you want pies?
So that's the
like 3 in
beauty-
the morning. I want a pie. All of a sudden,
It's-
I'm dreaming about the peach pie.
it's happened.
My family's away tonight. This may happen. I'm up late. I may be laying in bed at 3 o'clock going, I really want that peach pie now. Like, can I call you on Twitter at 3 in the morning? You'll bring me a peach pie?
Right. So direct messaging me or sending me a message, just tweeting at me over Twitter is the best way to do it. And it's happened multiple times. I have the website. The website, I think, has got a 48-hour buffer. But
Okay.
if you need something sooner than that, just get on Twitter. Hey, Pie Guy, where are you at? What do you have available tonight? I will message you back. And multiple nights I've had friends at parties or elsewhere about time. They like you said, they have that late night sugar rush. They want something fresh and then, and I'm happy to bring it to them.
All right.
Okay, Nate, if I tweeted you or whatever, see, I'm so square, I do not know how to do that yet.
Absolutely.
But I'm working on it.
Okay.
But if I tweeted you, I would say, Nate, why are you the pie guy? Why pies?
Why pies?
Why
Oh,
pies?
why not? Who doesn't love a good pie?
Did you always love pies as a kid?
Yeah.
Did you bring pies to school?
Yeah, so I'm from Shreveport, Louisiana, which is in northwest Louisiana, and there's not a lot that Shreveport is known for down here, especially when it comes to food. But there is one thing
Elvis?
that when I say, and Elvis, yes.
Yeah.
When I say Strawn's, people go, oh, Strawn's.
What's
It is
Strawn's?
a diner. The original one is on East Kings Highway across from Centenary, where I went to college, and they are known for these fantastic icebox pies. Homemade, fresh each day, beautiful crust, fresh fruit fillings or chocolate, coconut, butterscotch, strawberry, peach, Ruston peaches when they're in season, and just piled high with just inches of homemade whipped cream. And that is one of the
Now, what makes a
best
pie
memories.
an icebox pie?
Icebox pie is basically so you've got a pre-baked crust filled with a cooked fruit filling or chocolate filling, and then just pile it high with homemade whipped cream, which you got to keep in the icebox all day to keep that
That's where it
whipped cream
gets the
from
name.
melting. Mhm.
Okay.
And it is beautiful, and that's one of my favorite memories. And I did not have that down here when I came to New Orleans. And I've
Oh.
always loved sweets. I went to pastry school right after college. I've got a bit of a sweet tooth. So that's kind of always been my MO. And then when I came down here and I needed that little fix, pie just kind of seemed like a natural fit. There weren't
So you're
any pie
professionally
places.
trained in pie making,
Yes,
huh?
from some of the most talented French pastry chefs I have ever met at the French Pastry School in Chicago.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Huh. So did you work in food then before the pie guy?
Sure. So I've
Right.
been working in food since I was 16. Started doing dishes and prep cook and fry cook at local bakeries in Shreveport. On through college in Shreveport, waited tables, worked as a barista briefly, and then kind of back in the production side of things. And then when I moved to Chicago, while I was at pastry school, I was fortunate enough to meet Chef Art Smith, who was Oprah's personal chef for about 20 years. And he was opening his first flagship restaurant, Table 52, right around the corner from my apartment. So I was fortunate enough to work under him as his opening pastry cook. And
What
just-
neighborhood was that in Chicago?
I was in Gold Coast.
Okay. Wow.
Right. Just fell in love with the city. It's a beautiful city, beautiful food city. Had
Huh,
a
so you guys
great
had
time.
Chicago in common too.
Yeah, as a matter of fact,
Yeah.
we've talked
Small
about
world.
that. The weekend I moved out of Chicago was the weekend he moved in.
Interesting. Wow.
It's our big food festival, the first week in July
Yes.
in 2008. No, 2007.
2007.
2007.
And so, what got you into New Orleans then, from Chicago?
So from Chicago, I worked briefly in the Midwest at a chocolate plant. I was not in Chicago, so kind of fell out of love with the Midwest real quick. Chicago is one of the few things I found to love about the Midwest. If you take me out of that, then my love dwindles quickly. So I moved back home until I found work, and I got a job working as a sales manager for Sucre here in New Orleans, and moved down, fell in love with the city, and not going anywhere.
Sucre is how you got here. Okay.
Yep.
Can either one of you tell me this question? It's a little off topic, but you brought it up a little bit. In my opinion, I don't mean to insult anybody, but here's my second insult. Okay.
That's when it gets fun.
Midwestern food is not known by others even as being the most exciting food in America. It tends to be, very bland. I remember
Heavy.
I visited a place in Michigan, and they were wining and dining me, and they had me over their house after we went out. And like they were so proud that they had made Jell-O, like that was like a big deal, And it was like their Jell-O was especially good, you know what I mean? And then you go to Chicago, and the food is fantastic.
It's beautiful.
I was there for 2 weeks, and I went to 21 restaurants when I was there, and I wasn't being strategic. I was very busy, so I was eating fast. I was picking places fast. And 20 of the 21 I thought were fantastic. Like, it's amazing how good the food can be in Chicago. Why does Chicago have so much better food than the area around it? maybe.
I would say because you have this conglomeration of people from so many different cultures. You have a really distinctive Hispanic population. You have a very distinct, which is on the south side. You have a very distinctive Indian population on the north side. So you have all these different cultures, and I think that they bring the best of what they have. And then it just it goes from there.
Well, one of the things I noticed in Chicago is this right or wrong? It seemed like it was more like New York was when I was a kid. There were ethnic groups that were still clustered in neighborhoods. You had like New Orleans doesn't really have any ethnic neighborhoods to speak of anymore. But like you could go to Chicago and this is a Greek neighborhood and there's lots and lots and lots of Greek stuff there and lots of Greek names, and then you go to another one that's very Italian and
Yes.
so forth. And I feel like that creates synergy where ethnic food can get more creative and can have a community and so forth. Do you think that's part of it too, maybe? Or?
Absolutely. I think that the ethnic foods in Chicago, you have these very distinct districts that
Yeah.
are known for their food based on, where the people from that area are from, whether it's Italy or Greece or India. And plus they have access to a lot of different fresh foods.
Yeah, let's say with that strength in numbers and that clustering, they bring a lot of other things with them, whether it's recipes or ingredients and seeds, and so there's this availability of this just really diverse group of ingredients that they can work with and grow and kind of pass on generation from generation. And then with Chicago being just a big metropolitan city it is,
Yeah.
it's such a big destinations for other chefs
Right.
that want to kind of move up the ranks. So you have people going under there, studying under, you have Grant Atchez now. There was a while he was under, who was it, just retired.
I can't think of the name, but I know who you're talking about. You've got Rick Bayless, who does exquisite Mexican food. It's amazing.
Yep.
I guess the thing, and I guess there's no answer for this from the four of us maybe, but like there's a lot of big cities that don't have great food anyway, even though they're big cities. You can find great food in any city, but I'm saying in general, like the average. London is a great example of place. It was a great place to eat in London. But people joke about how London generally does not have. It's disappointing a little bit sometimes, you know. And it's a huge city, so there's something about the way that I don't know. Well, anyway, you gave me some
I
things to chew
disagree
on.
about London, though.
All right, I'm sure you. Yeah, I haven't been. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, Edinburgh.
No, I mean
Edinburgh's a big city.
no,
Everybody
listen.
says the food's terrible. In
No,
Edinburgh.
English
We have any
food
listeners
is
from
not
Edinburgh? They just
necessarily
insulted
great.
all our Scottish
But
listeners.
speaking of
Yeah.
food, which this has nothing to do with food, but let's get to the point
Thank you.
of the show where we y'all pick a number between 1 and 217, and you're already looking stressed out.
Do her first.
yeah.
Get her first. That's good. We
You
want that. Work
just
with that.
so, and then we ask you this random question from the 80s that is probably
Earnest, very earnest questions.
Okay, question number 9.
9.
Wow.
Okay. Would you accept, what is that?
$1 million.
To leave the country and never set foot in it again?
No,
No.
that was an easy one. No.
Okay. See, that wasn't so bad.
You don't
Nobody's
realize
gonna
you
be
did
upset
when you
with
moved
that
to New
answer.
Orleans, right? You left America when you moved here. And you didn't even get $1 million for it.
But have you seen that T-shirt at Dirty Coast, and it says, "So far behind, we're ahead."
Yeah.
All right,
All
Nate.
right.
What's
Your
your
number's
All right,
up.
let's do 83.
83. Is that the year you were born or something?
I was but my birthday is August 3rd, so 8 and 3,
Oh, good,
so
okay.
close.
Yeah, you're not 28 yet, I don't think.
I will be Friday.
Oh,
or
okay.
Saturday.
Leo. Okay. If you were helping to raise money for a charity and someone agreed to make a large contribution, if you would perform at the upcoming fundraising show, would you? Now, I'm going to have to add in bed because that's ridiculous.
Perform? No, it clarifies. If so, what would you like to
Perform? What does that
perform?
mean?
Well, that's what it's
if
asking you.
so, what would you like to perform? Assume the show would have an audience of about
he's gonna
1,000.
whip out. He's going to say baking cakes.
In bed.
He's going to
of
bake
course.
pies.
Absolutely.
No,
Baking demo.
You can't turn that into porno, though.
Juggling pies. Why not?
All right, you turn everything into porno. She doesn't.
Would you perform a porno show in front
Oh
of
my gosh!
for a charity to raise to help
For sick kids.
for sick kids
the children.
in New
For the
Orleans?
children.
That's what they
That
tell
would
them all. That's
that
how they
would
get them all.
change
That's
their
how
life
for everyone.
forever.
This is
You
for the
didn't
sick
have
children.
to perform it; it just gets performed on you, and I won't be specific.
What?
How's
you
the
don't have
internet
to
work? Who all's
answer.
listening to this show?
That was
No,
Margot that said that, not Ray Canada.
Yes. He gets in trouble for other things. I get in trouble
Exactly.
for being nasty.
Shameless self-promotion. Off of that question, I'm
Oh.
actually doing a
porno?
fundraiser for.
What are you doing a fundraiser
Yeah,
for?
for Son of a Saint Foundation, Friday, August
Oh,
2nd at
what a great group.
PJ's.
Yeah. Tell us about that.
Yeah,
I would
please.
love to.
Plug
So
it,
They
please.
are an outreach program for fatherless young males in the city. The program takes them in usually between the ages of 9 and 13, and they stay in the program until they get their acceptance letter to college. Now, it's kind of a holistic approach to a mentoring program. So you have coaching, you have education, you have mental health, and you have mentorship. So they take them out, they get them involved in the city, they teach them about giving back to the community, they tutor them for education, help them get them on that path to college, and it's just a beautiful program started by a friend of mine, Sunny Lee. And we are doing a fundraiser for them to raise money. We're shooting for about $2,500 on Friday, August 2nd from 5 to 9. And we've got a couple of great gifts, and it's a beautiful program. They're always looking for mentors, so if anybody out there has a time or energy or knows somebody who will, or who does, I encourage them to go onto the website and get involved.
Will you please tell us what the website is? So
Absolutely. It's sonofasaint.org.
Sonofasaint.org.
And along the
Wow.
same lines, you're doing you and I are doing a children's foundation. Also, we're doing the Pavlov event. I'm on
Yes,
the Pavlov committee for New Orleans, and Pavlov is a children's cancer foundation. It was named after Pavlov Kostelas, and his mom, Joanne Thrallkill, is actually a native New Orleanian. And when her son died of a Wilms tumor, which is a very rare form of cancer, she started the foundation. And so Pedaling for Pavlov is on September 28th, and I will be providing food, as will Nate.
Yep.
And so what it is, it's a bicycle event for kids. And
Where's it gonna be?
It's going to be at Holy Name of Jesus School
Oh, nice.
at 9 a.m.
Uptown.
So uptown, bring your kids, have them bring their bikes, and it's not a race.
Wait, what day is it?
It's September 28th. It's a Saturday.
Saturday, okay.
So the kids ride their bikes, and which, to us, it probably doesn't sound that exciting, but for kids to be able to ride their bikes on the playground with all these other kids, it's pure joy. It's just total
So how does it
glee.
raise money then? They pay money to ride the bikes?
So you
or-
pay money to ride the bike, and then you can also sponsor a child. So that's how they raise money. And then we'll have a silent auction. And so we have some terrific folks who contribute. And
Where's the
we
silent
will have-
auction going to be? There outside?
It'll be
or-
there
Oh, cool.
at the location. And like I said, I do food for the event. We start the kids off early with fruits and vegetables. And then later in the day, Nate comes on the pies.
Nice.
Give them the
So-
nice little
Yeah, you don't
sugar
want to give them the
rush to
sugar
go
rush.
home with.
Yeah,
Can
right,
you give
right
us
at the beginning.
how people can donate or support or find out more information? Do
Absolutely.
they have a website?
It is. It's the Pavlov Foundation. It's www.pavlov.
Can you spell that?
It's
for-
Pablove. So out after Pablo, and then add a VE to it.
Great.
So
Pablo
Wow.
the V at the end.
yeah.
This is really exciting. I'm really, I feel like I'm speaking for all of New Orleans, but really, it's so nice that y'all are both in this city and so passionate about so many things and living here and contributing to the community. And I really appreciate that. And I know
It's so
a lot of
exciting.
people listening will be educated on what y'all are doing and hopefully help out and contribute.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask. I want to ask Gia something. So when you go out, when you don't eat your own salads, like where do you like to go for specifically for salads? Like where do you like to eat for?
Or
Give me
do
a
you
hearty
not-
salad, like
or
your
do you
quinoa
not
salad. It
wanna
doesn't have to be a
eat-
green
I mean-
salad, but
Or do you have no desire to eat a salad when you?
No, I
Go
love.
out.
I mean, that kind of goes back to everything tastes better when somebody else makes it.
Right.
And so like I get
Totally
you
agree with
know
that.
so the other day, and I will say my food. My new food crush, because I hadn't been there before and it's in my neighborhood, is I went to Gotros for the first time.
oh yeah,
And had a
Susan Mannix.
fantastic
yeah.
salad.
Margo
there.
likes that too. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like roasted pineapple, and the whole time I'm eating, I'm thinking about it, and like the different flavor combinations. So, but in terms of where can I go for fast, a quick
well, it doesn't
salad,
have to
there
be.
really isn't.
No, it doesn't have to be fast
That's
necessarily.
Yeah.
But where
great.
would you go and get like the salad though?
You know what? Gotros had a fantastic salad.
Okay. Oh yeah, where
Off the
else then?
chart.
Okay, so how about medium price salad?
Medium
That's
price.
high end. That's
That
about-
is, that is kind
Yeah.
of high end. Well, it certainly isn't healthy, but it's delicious. But Houston's always has
Chinese chicken salad at Houston's.
I've never been to
there's
Okay.
there's nothing remotely low cal about those salads, but they are very
Okay,
good.
and what about fast salad? Do you have a fast salad place you ever go to?
I think you really, and this is kind of why
Yeah.
I came up with the concept, because my only options were sitting down to eat a salad or going to Whole Foods.
Okay, well you know Fresh Bar. Have you been there at all?
I have.
Okay, and have you been to the one that's on the 6200 block of magazine? Its name's oh no that is Fresh Bar. I'm thinking of Superfood Bar.
Superfood.
is the other one.
I've heard great things about
Yeah.
them. I have not
Superfood
eaten them.
is more raw foods and
Yeah.
Smoothies and
But no, but I mean they have salads. I mean I
Yeah.
walked
They
out
do?
of there with a gigantic salad once that was
Oh, wow.
really creative and interesting, and it's all to go. I don't think they have any seating inside, but I walked out.
they
with like,
do have seating
oh,
now.
they do? Okay.
Yeah,
didn't
they
used to.
just opened
Okay.
seating.
It
But
just has a weird name because when I hear
What-
Superfood
Superfood.
Bar, I think it's like going to be like a bunch of like roast beef and burgers and like it's going to be like a really it could be a big Shoney's or something, yeah. Right.
So,
it's the
Nate-
opposite of that.
not to interrogate you about pies at other places,
Not
but
at all.
it does seem there's a little bit of a pie craze going.
Yes.
Not craze, but there's a new
no, absolutely.
that's kind of new to the city.
Yeah, Nathan started it.
He did.
Yes.
there we go.
He did.
All the copycats. Yeah.
No, so yeah, there's a couple of places coming up, and actually one is opening in a few days.
Yeah.
It started out as another pop-up concept at
the-
Dante's Kitchen.
Yeah,
It's
right. The
opening in a
pie
couple days.
noodle place on
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
State and Magazine. I
State
know
Magazine, the
I
old
pass it 8
Reginelli's.
times a day and peek in. I'm so excited. Yeah.
Now this is going back a little bit, but
And the other one's P and
you've always been in food, but you are a lawyer.
Yes.
Now, is there anything from being a lawyer and your experience doing that translates in any way into your field now, or would benefit? You notice that's something, a skill you learned doing that, or anything that correlates, or any.
Absolutely.
attention to detail, maybe.
Attention to detail is certainly one of them, but I think even the business, just the basics, which is starting your own business, it can be very difficult. There's the legal aspect of it. If you're going to start a corporation, and what type of corporation are you going to be? A sole proprietorship, and finding out what type of permitting you need, any of your licenses, all of that stuff it's a maze to get through. The bureaucracy of it and the
So you
legality
do all that
of it.
yourself?
I do all of that myself.
Oh boy! Wow.
And so it certainly helps to know the law and to feel confident about what you can do. That I know that I am protected, or I try and protect myself as best as I can, and I can protect my employees and the investment I've made into my own business.
Well, that's interesting because most people, when they start out in businesses, do not have that. They don't have that experience. And if you're saying it's a maze and
Yes.
a bureaucracy, then, I mean, that just goes to show you that's another reason why we do this show, is because everybody we've spoken to is really passionate about what they do, and they may not have that background, but they have the passion to fight through it. And I think it's interesting because not every field has such a driven group of people. I mean, you kind of have to be a little off and to want to be in the business, right?
Oh, absolutely. And I think that I don't ever regret, my going to law school or that 10 years of experience. It's been nothing but an asset to me. And that's part of kind of what I've imparted on Nate, which
I was
is
gonna say that's the first hour of that 2-hour conversation we had, probably.
That 2 hour stalking. In between her calling the police and not getting a response from NOPD.
So Nate, you had the background, so working your way up and being around it, you knew what you were getting into.
Absolutely.
But so when y'all met, that was a nice.
Yeah, nice
Connection
balance. Right.
balance.
Very,
Well, let me
very
ask you,
complimentary.
where do you think it's going? Like, what? I mean, by the way, small is beautiful. You don't have to get any. What you're doing already sounds awesome. But is there any plans? Maybe we'll start with you, Gia. Like, is there any plans for do you want to add more? You used to have one rider, now you have two. Do you want to have more? Is that going to require more kitchen space, or is that going to require an addition on your house, or are you going to have to eventually rent some space? Do you want to start a brick and mortar restaurant out of that? I mean, what do you want to do next?
I've thought about the brick and mortar concept, and frankly, I really love the bikes, and I we're getting a huge demand from the Mid-City area, from the Bywater area. I'd like to make sure that some of these.
So you need a second location to make the salads probably over there.
We
too,
probably
right?
would, yeah. I mean, that's kind of where we're looking at is a commercial kitchen space, and to keep expanding the bike business, and obviously to make more of a dent in our in downtown.
Right. Cool.
So maintain your philosophy of your business philosophy, but just expand it.
Yes,
Okay.
and I think
Exciting.
that New Orleans is a
Yeah.
great place to start.
So you have a second rider that's not related to you, right? Like
well,
you pay the
I'm
rider?
a rider and Nate's a rider.
Oh,
so,
okay, okay.
Yes.
Y'all are the two
All right.
riders.
So if you start having more riders, what can a rider expect to earn from riding you for delivering salads? Do they work for tips? Like, how does that work?
You work for tips and salads. I mean, you
Really?
know.
That sounds great.
And
yeah.
you get in great shape.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. They
Providing
pay
it.
you
Yes.
because you're giving them an exercise program.
It's
It's
a
a
membership rolled
yeah.
into it. It's fantastic.
oh
Yeah.
man. All right. Huh? Can I? Yeah. I could add that to my activities at night. I think I could do this. I'd like to learn to. I walk a lot. Maybe I could learn to ride a bike too. That'd be great.
Absolutely. The bike's easy to,
I own a
easy
bike.
to ride.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a bus, a little
Yeah.
tricycle, a little
Yeah.
trike.
You have a trike.
It's
right.
it's a big bike. Yes.
And how many
American made.
how many
Is it green?
salads can you hold on a delivery on
we
one
can
bike?
hold up to 100 salads.
What?
On the bike?
Yeah.
Come
'cause
on.
The bike has a big box.
Wait, but they're
on the front.
24 to 32 ounces. So
If
they're 1 to
both of
2
our
pounds.
Kids are riding and holding their
Okay,
fair
so 100. Wait, so 100
The baby
salads
in the
would be about
backpack,
150
yes.
pounds of
It's
salad
holding 10.
plus packaging.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense, I guess, right? A bike can hold 300-400 pounds of people, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Huh. How about you, Nate? What are your plans for the future? Any expansion? Like, what's your dream?
I want a virtual online bakery, so where people can go on and order fresh pies. You can go on and order.
And then like a 3D printer will print it for them on the other end.
Exactly. Yeah. Picture, build your own sweet pie. Exactly.
Yeah.
So go on and ordering pies and having them delivered fresh with just all natural, fresh local ingredients is the key thing. People love pie because it takes them to a memory. Growing up at Thanksgiving or Christmas time at your grandma's house, having that homemade pie. I just want to be able to bring that to as many people's doorsteps as possible with fresh local ingredients.
All right.
Wow. Are you married?
I'm
I'm married. I'm married.
Be afraid, Mr. Margot. Be afraid.
Sorry. Well,
I'm not gonna go any further with that
unfortunately,
one.
we've come to the end of our show.
All right.
It has been wonderful
The
to
only thing that
have
could have
y'all.
made this show better is they brought some salads and pies for us now. Now
Yeah.
I'm super hungry.
Gives you an
But
excuse to come
unfortunately,
back and
we're
go
at
online.
Ted's, so I can like satiate it at least with like burgers or something in a minute. Won't be the same though.
I'll be figuring out. I think I've just been pushed into figuring out how to Twitter or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Tweet.
Tweet as of tonight because
Okay.
There you go.
Grant's been telling you for months. Me too. Neither one of us do it. Okay. Well, I think we're ready to end. And our special guest tonight on Midnight Menu Plus One was Gia DeLeo of Green to Go. And her plus one was Nate Winter of the NOLA Pie Guy. You can find out more about Green to Go and NOLA Pie Guy by following the links on itsneworleans.com. But you can tell us one more time contact information, Gia.
www.greentogonola.com. 504-460-3160, and it's Green to Go NOLA on Facebook and Twitter.
Say the phone number one more time.
504-460-3160.
All right. And how about you, Nate?
NOLAPieGuy.com, and it's the same for Facebook, Twitter, and Gmail. Just NOLAPieGuy.com. That's the best way
You're
to
the
find
one
me.
and only NOLA Pie Guy.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Our show is recorded live at Ted's Frostop on Claiborne and Calhoun in Uptown New Orleans. Ted is open 7 days a week, serving first-class burgers, beer, and their awesome homemade root beer in a frosty mug. Midnight Menu Plus One is produced by Grant Morris. Chris Keogh is our technical director. The fabulous audio quality of the show that you hear tonight is brought to you in part by PreSonus Audio Electronics. PreSonus makes some of the best audio recordings and live sound products, including Studio One music production software, Studio Live digital mixing consoles, Eris studio monitors, and much, much more. Visit PreSonus.com for more information. You can get in touch with us here at Midnight Menu Plus One by going to our website, itsneworleans.com, and from there you can follow us on Twitter, sort of. Find us on Facebook. After tonight, you can follow us on Twitter. Find us on Facebook and sign up for our mailing list. While you're at itsneworleans.com, you can listen to other episodes of Midnight Menu Plus One, as well as other shows, Happy Hour, Mindset, True to the Game, Viet Nola, and Out to Lunch. If you're listening to the show on iTunes, thanks for subscribing. Maybe you could take a minute to rate us and review us. That helps other people find us. Midnight Menu Plus One's production of INO Broadcasting for It'sNewOrleans.com. Till we meet here again at Ted's Frost Top, I'm Ray Canada.
And I'm Margot Moss.
Good night.
You know Labor Day signals the unofficial end of summer, but not the end of your outdoor projects. Lowe's helps you do it right and helps you save with Labor Day deals throughout the store. Shop now and get 2 bags of Stay Green Potty Mix for $12. And keep your lawn looking neat and trim with a Craftsman 2-cycle 17-inch gas string trimmer, now $20 off at just $119. Whatever's still on your to-do list this Labor Day, do it right for less. Start with Lowe's. Offers valid through 8/28. Soil offer excludes Alaska and Hawaii, U.S. only.